is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back with some more Sea of Stars. And guys, if you have not picked up this game and you are a fan of RPG games, those old-fashioned RPGs back in the golden age of RPGs back in the 90s, then this is definitely a game you need to pick up. I highly, definitely recommend it. Even though I'm still playing it and enjoying it, it is definitely awesome. But unfortunately, we are not here to be talking about this, an actual good game and good something to talk about. We're unfortunately here to talk about game journalists doing what they do most famously nowadays, embarrassing themselves and looking basically like an ass. But this is the next episode of Why No One Takes Gaming Journalists Serious, and we got such a non-issue here. You know, I always talk about to either my coworkers or friends. You remember back in the day growing up how the problems we had, like that we would consider actual problems. Now look at today's world and look at all the things we all consider problems. It's like night and day. So what's the problem this time? Well, according to, once again, and I'll leave a link in the description below, to this writer on the Gamer, stop using mods to make female characters prettier is basically the problem. Because in Baldur's Gate 3, which is the latest game beset by gamers, assigned to every woman needs to be endlessly beautiful and always glamorous. Because, you know, people are using mods to make characters look the way they personally want to look. Now, let me ask you a question. Why would this ever bother somebody? You know, one of the things I've never understood is how what someone else does in their game, barring if it's not like a multiplayer experience where you're like affecting, you know, the score of the game or you're cheating or something like that. But in terms of a single player game, you know, mods, and once again, that's one of the advantages of PC. Is I'm not a PC gamer, but it's one of the big advantages of PC is, you know, you can do mods. You can have mods go in and, you know, spice up the experience and make the experience and really enjoyable. And not just visually in terms of like costumes and stuff, but just, you know, changing things, making new modes. I've seen a lot of great mods in the Resident Evil community, for example. There's some silly ones, but once again, it's all at the creativity of whoever's doing the mod. But basically, mods can be a lot of fun. You know, that's the point. In this case, they're talking about, you know, a mod that basically changes the look of characters, and apparently, you know, people are using the mod to make all the female characters in Baldur's Gate 3 look, you know, pretty and, you know, attractive looking. I'm pretty sure there's mods that make all the male characters do too. Of course, you don't hear about that. But my problem to here is, why is this a problem? Like, why does this bother you? And they try to equate this issue to why it's such a problem in terms of, like, you know, the people that do this, they're probably the people in real life that have problems with, you know, real women, and they just want these unreasonable standards and stuff. I'm like, dude, that doesn't make any logical sense. If you want to equate that the way these guys, whoever is doing this, are, and it's not just guys doing it, a bunch of women do this stuff too, you know. I know it's shocking, like, you know, both men and women probably want to play or interact with pretty attractive characters, you know, big shocker there. Because, you know, as they always say, you know, sex sells. But nonetheless, if you want to equate to, oh, the people that do all this to make all their characters look pretty and gorgeous are deviants and all, you know, this is how you equate to that, which makes no sense whatsoever. You know, what you do in a game doesn't relate to who you are in real life. You know, a game is a form of escapism. People play video games to enjoy, have a good time, to get away from the boredom or the harsh realities of the real world. Like, for example, I'll tell you a fun story. I was, back when I was in school, I wrote an argument essay. Basically, the point of it is you have to provide your case that you're making an argument for. Also, you have to have, like, at least one paragraph talking about a counterpoint against it. But basically, what it is you're trying to argue for, and, you know, whatever reasons, and et cetera, et cetera. And my argument paper was on, do violent video games make people more violent? I still remember that day because I brought in a bunch of, like, M-rated games and stuff like that, and I also had to have my little Sonic hat on. By the way, I know this is off topic, but this attack is so cool. This is the first time I did it in the game. Just, this attack is just pure awesome. Sea of Stars, you need to go pick that up right now. But getting back on topic, I wrote this paper arguing that violent video games do not make people violent, because if they truly did, and as many people play video games now more than ever in today's world, don't you think crimes would be at an astronomical rate at this point? I mean, just use simple logic here. I mean, just because you play violent video games, I mean, if that's the case, I'd be already on the America's Most Wanted list by that definition. As we transition over here to Dave Mirra 1994, I also got my review up on the channel if you haven't checked it out. And I definitely do recommend playing this pretty fun RE2 remake style survival horror game. But nonetheless, yeah, it just, you can't equate to, my point is, you can't equate to what people do in a game to how they are in real life. And that's what this writer tries to equate it to. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I played in that little argument thing. I brought in games like Doom, Witcher 3, Skyrim, Grand Theft Auto, you know, you name it, like all the M-rated games. I'm like, I guess I must be just a, you know, angry, terrible, aggressive person. No, people do that stuff as a video game, have fun in it. Doesn't mean that's how they are in real life. But once again, like, I don't see how these mods making all the female characters look pretty is a problem. Like, why is this a problem? Nobody is complaining about this. It's their game. You know, it's how they want to play, how they want people to look. You know, why is this a problem? Like, it's like in those JRPG games I play where, like, they usually have, like, a beach volleyball pack where, like, all the characters are in, like, swimsuits and bikinis and stuff. I don't normally wear that because I think it kind of looks silly, especially in battle. But, you know, I'm not complaining to get rid of it. It's there to be there. It gives you options, you know, and that's just stuff already in a game. You know, obviously people are probably a lot more creative. And are there some ridiculous mods people make? Yeah, I remember they had BDSM Claire from Resident Evil 2 Remake. I mean, I would, you know, never be caught dead doing that. But once again, if that's what people want to do, that's what makes them happy, you know, more power to them. It's not bothering me. Why would it ever bother me? Like that, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I don't see how that is a problem with people. Like, why is this why is this an issue? This is such a non-issue. But here's the funny part about it all is I was looking on social media and someone was making fun of this post, and the funny part about it all is, like, this same website. It's not the same person that wrote this, but it's just funny. This same website that's condemning, you know, gamers doing this with their mods for Baldur's Gate 3, why this is so terrible and why this is such a problem. This same news site also, you know, made a whole article about in Resident Evil 4 Remake when that came out, where Resident Evil 4 mod lets Leon take his willy out. Yeah. But apparently that's fine. You know, and that's the thing I never understand. It's always a problem when, like, you know, the female characters, they're pretty and attractive, but, like, the male characters, it's like you can do anything with them, and it's perfectly, no one has any outrage at all. I mean, damn, I tell you what, it must be suck to be the female characters, because it's just like, no matter what you do with them, it's like somebody's got to complain about something. It's just like, dude, just play the game, you know, like. But in this case, you know, once again, this is how some people want to play the game. Why is this a problem? Why are we complaining about this? Why is this such an issue? Why does it bother you? Stop trying to make it into some moral statement where you're just basically like, oh yeah, this is a problem, and gamers need to stop doing this, stop wanting this. It's like, you know, hey, they can mod, they can do whatever they want. You know, if you don't want them to look that way, you don't have to have them look that way. You know, that's what you want to do in your game. Isn't Baldur's Gate 3, the purpose of it is that you have so many options, you know, in the main game itself. The mods just, you know, enhance the stuff and the way gamers personally want. But you have options. I think that's the number one thing that people love the most about the game is you can do so many things with it. You have so many options. You have so many variety. You have so many decisions. So many things you can possibly do. But now you're condemning people for using options and stuff because, oh, it's not personally what you want them to do. Well, I got news for you, sister. You didn't pay for the game for this person. You didn't buy this game for them. You know, shouldn't they be able to play the way they want? As long as they're not, you know, bothering someone in an actual bothering way. You know, if it was like a multiplayer experience, running experience. But this is not. It's a single-player experience. This is not bothering, affecting anybody. You know, this is a mod that someone created and they're using it. What's the big deal? Wow. Fictional characters look a certain way. Whoop-de-doo. In other news, the sun rises, then it sets. But damn, you guys. It's like, as I said before, when I make these, why no one takes gaming journalists serious videos, I feel sorry for the actual gaming journalists who do take their job serious and actually do a good job, because they get so overshadowed by the dumbasses who just write this stupid article after stupid article trying to make their moral standpoints about stuff that isn't a problem to any normal person. But nonetheless, maybe that I'm just a crazy one. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is a problem that people have mods to make characters, in this case women, look pretty? Is this really a problem? You know me, obviously not a problem to me because I really don't care. But that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back on the next one. Thanks, and I'll see you all later. Peace.